Hey my invested besties, welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, I'm going to be going over our 5 best dividend paying stocks. Now, the reason why we are building up this particular portfolio in Robinhood and eventually transferred over to Fidelity is to build up a solid dividend portfolio. And one of the ways that we have been doing that is researching great companies that have a great future that pay a good dividend. So I'm talking about dividend aristocrats, I'm talking about dividend kings, companies that have been paying out a dividend over a 20+ year span, okay? And during this process, we've been learning which companies pay more of a dividend, which companies may pay monthly, and making sure that our portfolio is diversified as best as possible. And I'm not going to throw any hypotheticals here. I'm going to throw out what we have been seeing in terms of dividend payouts. And I'm going to actually take you over to Robinhood before I come back to this spreadsheet and really kind of dive deep into it. So let's get started. But before we do, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button and that little bell notification so that you don't miss an upload every time I do. Don't forget to share the video with a friend so that we all can get to the promised land together and leave something for our children. Okay, so let's go on over to our Robinhood account. So I'm looking down at the computer. Now I'm going to first take you guys back. We're going to go way back to October when I first opened up this Robinhood account. And one of the things that we were trying to do when we first opened up this Robinhood account is to make sure that we were well versed in terms of what dividends are. So dividends basically is payouts that companies will give you for owning the company. So you figure if you're going to buy the company anyway, it's an extra plus to receive a payment just for owning that stock. And the great thing about it is that you can get those dividends automatically reinvested back into that particular stock, and it'll allow compound interest, which is a great thing. And I'll link a video up here in the eye in the sky if you want to know more about what compound interest is. But again, compound interest is like magic for your money, for your investments, for your long-term goals. And you have to, one of the things is you have to make sure that you have your dividend reinvested button clicked in your settings, because if you don't, your platform or your brokerage will pay you out in cash, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure that you have that selection highlighted or clicked on in your settings in terms of when you get your dividends to have it automatically reinvested back into the stock. But I took us back down here in memory lane. So we're back in October. So this was our first dividend, and I did this because I want to encourage all of you, especially when you're starting to build your portfolios and you may see small, tiny payouts, and it may not be encouraging because you'll see people with portfolios that are getting hundreds of dollars a month in payouts. Remember guys, everyone starts somewhere, and I can tell you that this account is not the only account that we get dividend payouts in. In our HSA, we just got a payout of almost $300 in dividends just from the HSA account. And we get it in a Roth account, we get it in our retirement accounts, we get it in our interactive brokers accounts, Webull. So again guys, you can get dividends in a variety of ways, but when you're starting to build your portfolios, don't get disheartened, don't get discouraged if you don't see like these big numbers. Remember, everybody started somewhere, and we all at the end of the day started at zero. Okay, so as you can see, 49 cents was one dividend payout we received in October, and that was from Cardinal Health. So we received 49 cents, excuse me, on one share. So like I also mentioned, you don't have to dump all of your money in at once. You could dollar cost average, which is basically investing the same amount of money each month into a particular fund or a stock or whatever it is you're investing in, because usually you'll get the best price that way. You're not trying to time the market. You don't have to stress yourself out excuse me guys, in terms of trying to figure out what's the best price. Now you can set limit orders, but if you are new and you're just wanting to get into the game, dollar cost averaging is a great way to do it. And like I said, everyone starts somewhere. You can start out with a half a share, and then like here, build up to one whole share, and then just build from there. And so as you can see, we started out with 49 cents guys, 49 cents. And if you look back in November, we also received one dividend payout that was from Realty Income, and that was on one share for 23 cents. Now the great thing about Realty Income is that they pay a dividend every month. So if you're looking for monthly income and you want to build your portfolio up, Realty Income is one of the best investment stocks to do that with. They are a little pricey. I believe they're around $66 at the filming of this video. But again, guys, just go and you'll be able to find the price for it. And before I move on, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone who is documenting their journey on YouTube with all of the information out there for everybody to see, and you can see the progress that we're making. So the work is just showing, itself. So if we go on to December, this was the first month that we started to receive multiple dividends in one month. So as you continue to invest in your portfolio, you're going to start to see it build and grow from there if you continue to be consistent with it. So as you can see, in December, we received 5 dividend payouts. That was from Kroger, Aflac, Walgreens, Realty Income again, and Coca-Cola. Okay, and as you can see the dividends slowly starting to increase. Again, it doesn't happen overnight. You don't want to approach your portfolios with this kind of get rich quick mentality, because 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work out that way. Okay, and so as you can see, just being consistent, we received our first $1+ dividend in December, and that was from Walgreens, and that was for 3 shares. So just building up your positions, making sure you have a well-diversified portfolio, and it really does work itself out from that point on. So as you can see, in January, so again, we've received 7 dividend payouts in January. And as you can see, we started to get our first $2+ dividend payout just by continuing to invest. I'm gonna click on it. How many do we have? Okay, about 5 shares. As you can see, this 0.97 back here is just the dividend from the previous month being reinvested back into it. And that's why I said, when you get your dividend payouts, make sure you have that selection of reinvestment clicked in your profile so that you don't get it paid out. And that way you can just let, like I said, compound interest work for you. So we're gonna click on that. So as you can see, the dividends slowly starting to increase. So we go to February, where we receive a couple of more dividends. 5 here? Yep, 5. As you can see, we have our first $5+ dividend. Now this is from AT&T, and I know AT&T did mention, they are selling part of their company to Warner Media, and they plan on cutting a little bit of the dividends. So that caused a huge sell-off in the stock, and this is something you want to pay attention to. Whatever you're investing in, you need to make sure you have your ear to the ground. I would say check in your portfolios maybe once a quarter if you don't want to do once a month, but I do once a month, but once a quarter or at least twice a year, so that if there's any changes, because dividend stocks, sometimes companies can cut the dividend. Sometimes they can lower the dividend. Sometimes they can just stop it altogether like Ford did. And you want to make sure that if you love the company and you want to continue to invest in it, you can do that. But if you're building up a dividend portfolio strictly for dividends, you may consider pausing your investments until you can figure out some more information or more releases from the company. Maybe it'll give you time to find another company that's in the same sector that can do the same thing, and maybe you can put some money over there. But again, guys, that is something that we were looking at, and like I mentioned in a previous video, we did cut back on our AT&T investing. We have a little over 25 shares, but until more information come out in terms of how much the dividend is going to be cut and when it's going to be cut, we'll make our final decision there. But AT&T was really one of the best dividend paying stocks that you could have. It was super affordable as well. So as you can see, in February, this AT&T gave us our first $5 dividend payout, which was $5.20. How much was that on? 10 shares, and we received 52 cents per share. So we go on to March. Now, March was our biggest dividend payout month to date, and it was the month that we received the most dividends in terms of how many stocks. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's continue to go up. 9, 10, 11. So we received 11 dividend paychecks in the month of March. That also told my husband and myself something else. March is a good dividend payout month. So when we are planning our portfolios and investments for financial independence and retiring early, and especially in terms of when to draw money out in particular months, we know that we can have a bigger payout or a bigger withdrawal from our investments in the month of March, because that is when we get paid the most, is in March. Now, like I said, we only had this account since October, so it's going to be really interesting tracking this for a whole entire year to really know what months we get paid out the most, what months we get paid out the least, and we can really structure our income withdrawals when we reach FIRE much better. So this is why I'm always talking about tracking data and tracking trends, and why having good spreadsheets is so important, because it allows you to go back. The graphs, the charts allow you to go back and really look at these metrics and help you to make better decisions when it comes to planning out your future. So as you can see, in March, we got some really good dividend payouts. And remember, this is like, what, 6 months into this portfolio. So as you can see, we've got, what, $3 plus dividend from Aflac, $4 plus dividend from Walgreens. Let's see. Another one from British Petroleum, which has become one of my favorites. Coca-Cola, which is another favorite. Cardinal Health also. And as you can see, we're in April. Again, some more dividend payouts. And at the end of April, we are in May currently, or at the end of May at the timing of this video. But as you can see, our biggest dividend payout so far has been from AT&T. And that was on, how many shares was that on? 22.26 shares. Let's continue to go up. So as you can see, we have some payouts already pending for June. And so it's really nice to see, you know, paychecks that we are going to get pending. And again, just seeing the progress in this account, being focused, being steady, making sure we do our research, making sure that we have our alerts on, so that if there's changes going on in the different companies, we are aware of it and we can continue to invest in those companies or continue to cut back. So I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So let's go on over to our spreadsheet. So this is where I track all of this in terms of having it down in terms of sectors. I have, like you mentioned here, or I mentioned, our share goals. So I like to have the first threshold in terms of how many shares do I want to have in each particular stock. And so 25 is a great starting point, or maybe 10 is a great starting point for you, and then you can build up from there. But we would like to get a lot of these at 25 shares. We have met that goal in some of these, like in BP, we have currently 40.03 shares. Let's see. In American Financial, we have 35 shares. In Gladstone, we have 30 shares. So some of these we have already exceeded this goal, but we're going to continue to build some of the other positions up as well. So as you can see, these are all the companies that we have so far. The goal is to get this portfolio to about 25-ish shares, build these other, as you can see, these other stocks to our share goal, and then continue to maybe work on having 50 different dividend companies, because there are people who have 100 dividend companies. I mean, these people have master dividend portfolios, and that's something that we're trying to do as well. And as you can see currently down here, we are projected, if I don't add anything else to this portfolio, to get about $500 a year from dividends. But of course, we're not going to continue to stop. We're going to continue to dollar cost average in, continue to invest every time we get paid. If we get some extra monies, if we don't have anything planned for that, we'll put that money to work for us and just continue to invest. So our biggest dividend payouts so far has been British Petroleum, it has been Walgreens, it has been Pfizer, Aflac, and AT&T, until they decided to cut the dividend. But again, guys, those have been our 5 best, biggest dividend stocks. I think a lot of people have these stocks in their portfolios. They're really good companies. AT&T with an asterisk. I think they'll be able to work this out, but again, I'm going to be on the sidelines and just, pay attention and see what happens. But that's pretty much the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment box below. Are you interested in starting a dividend portfolio? Have you started a dividend portfolio? What have been some of your best payout dividend stocks so far, or what are some of your dividend stock companies that you're looking at to add to your portfolio? Again, guys, leave them down below. I love talking with you guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the video and channel if you haven't. Don't forget to follow me over on Instagram. Information is down in the description box below. Interested in opening up a Robinhood? Use my affiliate link. You get free stock, I get free stock, and it does help out the channel. So again, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed it. Remember, everyone, start somewhere, and personal finance is personal. Don't compare yourself to no one else. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.